What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be going over a 2,000 calorie full day of eating, obviously high protein, delicious meals, and 3 meals actually coming from my new cookbook, which just dropped, link in the description. I did this for a 1,600 calorie full day of eating, but I figured there's probably a few of you out there that are probably close to the 2,000 calorie mark. So I'm going to go through 3 recipes in my new cookbook, starting with a French toast bake. And there'll also be some side items throughout the video that aren't necessarily recipes, but they'll help you get to a full day of eating 2,000 calories. We're gonna have the French toast bake, we're gonna do the chicken smash burgers, as well as the chicken Parmesan sandwiches. But without further ado, let's get started. First things first, we have the French toast bake. Once again, I'm looking at the recipe card in the cookbook itself as I make these, so you guys will basically get to see exactly what this looks like. But essentially what you have right here, you have the picture, you have the recipe, you have the macros, the KISS level, all that kind of stuff. We'll explain later, because it is Chef's KISS Cookbook is what I'm calling it. And the KISS stands for Keep It Stupid Simple, making sure that anybody can do this. It's not gonna be something super complicated, pretty straightforward and easy to do if I do say so myself. But without further ado, we're gonna need 110 grams of a low calorie bread. This is a 45 calorie Sara Lee Delight bread. Boom, you can see that right there. They do make, I think, 40 calorie sliced bread now, but personally, I've always just gone with the whole wheat Sara Lee Delight. I don't know why, but I just do. But that comes up to be about 5 slices of bread. We also need 230 grams of egg whites. We need 100 grams of almond milk. We need 15 grams of protein powder, 15 grams of sugar-free syrup, 5 grams of vanilla extract, 5 grams of cinnamon, 5 grams of a sweetener of your choice. This is like a brown sugar replacement, but any sort of sweetener works. 1 tablespoon of baking powder right here, a pinch or a crank of salt, which is back here, boom. And then 50 grams of blueberries, and then we'll also have a frosting that I'll go over later. Basically, all we need to do is tear up our bread into about inch and a half slices, or inch and a half pieces. You can also slice it if you want to, but I personally don't want to waste the time. Then we'll go ahead, pull all of the ingredients in, give it a good mix, make sure everything's well combined, put it in a baking dish, and then you're good to go. Also, preheat your oven to, let's see, 450 degrees. So I'm gonna go ahead, preheat my oven, get all these ingredients together, and then, yeah, put it in a baking dish and wait about 20 minutes. Now we have our kind of, I guess, like French toast bake batter, if you will, or mixture over here, nice and well mixed up. We haven't put any blueberries in because I personally like to top my French toast bake with the blueberries rather than have them in the mixture. But first thing we're gonna do, we have our pan right here, not our pan, our baking dish, whatever you wanna call it. This is 8 by 8 by 2 inches. It says 2 quarts, 2 liter. This pretty much fits pretty well. It does spread out a little bit, so if you have a smaller one, probably fine. It just might take a little bit longer to bake, because if your mixture is a little bit thicker, it'll take a little bit longer to bake than a mixture that's thinner once it's out here. So we have a little bit of our extra virgin olive oil spray from Trader Joe's, so it doesn't have all those kind of like nasty ingredients and preservatives. I highly recommend getting this with a quick spray. Looks good to me. And we'll go ahead and add our batter in. Another big thing here is try to spread it out so you don't have any just liquid areas. You kind of have clumps of bread all over. So go ahead, take a second, mix it up, spread it out so it's nice and even. And then we'll go ahead and measure out our 50 grams of blueberries. My favorite way to measure this out is go ahead and set your blueberries on the scale, tar or 0 the scale, so it says 0, then everything you take out, as you know, that's the amount that you're basically putting into your mixture. So that's 10 grams right there. Quite a bit more than that. Boom, 51. So, hey, 1 gram over, not a big deal. Take the back of your spoon, your mixing spoon, and just kind of press your blueberries into your mix. Boom, and just like that, you have your mixture right there. I'm about to lean this over too much so it doesn't slide. But yeah, it should look something like that. You got a nice little moist bread. I know it doesn't look super appetizing, but I promise you, put this in the oven at 450 for about 20 to 25 minutes, and it'll look and taste absolutely delicious. So that's what we're gonna do. 20 to 25 minutes in the oven. Once again, if it's a little bit thicker of a batter, probably 25 minutes, a little bit thinner of a batter, about 20. And while our French toast bake is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and make our frosting. This is super simple, 2 ingredients. We're gonna use 50 grams of Greek yogurt. I just always use the Yoplait, where is it? Boom. Yoplait Light and Fit. This is a blueberry flavored. You can also go vanilla. You can go any other flavor if you want to mix and match stuff. And then 30 grams of the sugar-free syrup. Once again, that's what the recipe calls for, and that's what the recipe macros are. But if you really like the frosting, you want more, I think one of these cups, I think is 150 grams. So you could even use 150 grams and then 90 grams of syrup if you want more frosting or stuff to basically drizzle on top. But I'm personally just gonna go ahead, follow the ingredients on the actual sheet, and then I'll just eat the Greek yogurt honestly on the side and not really count that towards the full day of eating. But real quick, we're gonna mix that up, 0 our scale. We want 50 grams, as I said, 50. Okay, perfect. Go in for 30 grams. And we're gonna mix this together. So combine your syrup and your Greek yogurt. Boom, that easy. Then we'll throw this in the fridge to let it get nice and firm, so it's more of like a frosty consistency that I'll put on the French toast bake when it's done. Alrighty, about 22 minutes later, we have our finished French toast bake, as you can see right there. In my opinion, I think that looks a lot more delicious than it was in the batter form. So we've got this. We want to let that cool off for at least, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes at a very minimum before we go ahead and put our frosting on and start to eat it, just because it is very hot, and obviously the actual container, the baking dish is as well. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that out, let that cool down for about, I would say 3 to 5 minutes, and then go ahead, add our frosting on top and dig in. We just pulled out our frosting from the fridge. It is nice, cooled down. We'll go ahead and add that on top of our French toast bake, which is still nice and warm, but definitely cooled off a little bit. So go ahead and drizzle that bad boy on. Maisie's coming to see what's going on. Boom, and that is our final product right there. Let's go ahead and go over the macros real quick, and I'll give it a quick taste test. But I already know it's delicious. I've had this so much, especially on my last cut. This was pretty much my go-to breakfast every morning. I promise you, it is hard to finish. The amount of volume you have right here, I think for about 500 calories, but I'll read off the macros. I mean, it's just next level. Tastes delicious, packed with protein, the egg whites, the protein powder, the bread, Greek yogurt, all that kind of stuff. But all right, so for this entire French toast, ooh, that's hot. For the entire French toast bake, including the Greek yogurt and frosting, it comes out to be 5 grams of fat, 74 grams of carbs, 50 grams of protein, and 540 calories. Like I said, I always like to start my day with a high protein meal, and this is a great way to do it. And as I mentioned, oh, Maisie's even loud about it. This is gonna be hard for you to finish. I don't care who you are, I don't care how deep into a cut you are. I remember when I was down at 2,000 calories, probably a single-digit body fat percentage, this would still be hard for me to finish. Right now, I know it's gonna be hard for me to finish, but once again, today's more of just showing you guys a full day of eating, using recipes from my cookbook, as well as how to hit your calories and hit your protein. So if I don't finish it, not the end of the world. I'll definitely keep track of the macros, but as a whole, trust me, I'm gonna do my best. I know it's gonna taste good enough to try to finish, but you never know, sometimes the volume's just too much. That's as good as I remember. Oh my gosh, that's so good. But cheers, I'll see you guys at meal number 2. I just wanna give you guys a quick update. I have tried my absolute best, but there is some left and I just can't finish it. I am absolutely stuffed to the brim. I feel like if I take another bite, I'm not gonna be hungry for the rest of the day. And we do have some other meals I need to make, and yeah, honestly, I've been digging away at this thing for probably 15, 20-ish minutes, and I'm just stuffed in a good way. Obviously, it's one of those things where this is just an absolute high volume meal. Tastes delicious. I did pick out some of the blueberries because I just was craving some blueberries, but as far as this dish, yeah, food wins this time, and trust me, when I'm in prep, when I'm deep into prep, obviously I'm literally on day 2 or 3 right now, I'm still basically feeling very full, but later on in prep, I'll give this another go. I'll definitely take it down that time, but yeah, now without further ado, let's see you guys at the next meal. We're back for some lunch, and recipe number 2 from my cookbook, we have chicken smash burgers. These are gonna be pretty basic, but we're gonna have some ground chicken right here. This comes out to be 1 pound. We're gonna be using 8 ounces of it, and 8 ounces, let's see right here. So 1 pound is 4 servings, or 4 ounces per serving. It's gonna be 160 calories and 22 grams of protein per serving. Once again, we're gonna use 8 ounces to make 2 patties. We will only be eating 1 patty, but the other patty you can go ahead and throw in the fridge, store it for the next day, or even up to 3 or 4 days. But first thing we're gonna do, I'll read off all the ingredients first, just like I would in the recipe book, and then we'll go from there. So as I mentioned, we're gonna need 8 ounces of ground chicken right here. As I mentioned, once again, 160 calories per serving, 22 grams of protein. Then we're gonna have 10 grams of breadcrumbs. Any breadcrumbs work. These are just like the plain Progresso breadcrumbs, but panko breadcrumbs work too. We need 1 egg, which we have right here. We're gonna crack in a little bit of hot sauce. This is completely optional. I like 1 teaspoon. If you want a little bit hotter, you probably go 2 or 3 teaspoons, but just a little bit for some kick. We're also gonna have 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper. Oh, I put another wrong one, but yeah, 1 teaspoon of each of those. We're also gonna have 30 grams of fat-free ranch right here, 15 grams per burger. We also have 2 slices of pepper jack cheese, 1 slice of cheese per burger. And then we also need some shredded lettuce. This is gonna be my vegetable of choice on top. You could also add tomatoes. I mean, you could literally add any vegetable you want on top of the burger. You could even do ketchup, mustard. I'm personally gonna go with ranch today, but use whatever toppings and condiments you want. And then of course the buns we're gonna be using are these brioche buns. These are absolutely fantastic. The Nature's Own brioche bun. These are a little bit higher calories, so an easy way to cut down the calories These are 170 calories each. If you want to use a low calorie or a keto friendly bun or bread, it's gonna bring the calories way down. But I personally think the extra calories are worth it for the taste because we got plenty of protein in the chicken itself. And then, yeah, what we need to do real quick, we're gonna measure out 8 ounces of our chicken in this mixing bowl, add all of our seasonings, our hot sauce, our egg, our breadcrumbs, mix that up, and then go over to the stove and cook it. Now we've got all of our ingredients that we need for the burgers in the bowl. Go ahead and mix that up. You can use a fork if you want, but I think it's better to use your hand to get a good mixture. Basically, keep going until everything's well combined. Then we're gonna form 2 patties on this plate right here. Now we'll wash our hands and head to the stove. Now we've got our 2 4-ounce chicken burgers right there, as well as a hot flat pan. You could obviously use a curved one, just make sure the both patties fit in there. But we've got this nice and hot. We're gonna hit with a little bit non-stick or olive oil spray, just a little bit. Boom, just like that, just nice and quick. Then we'll go ahead and put our patties down. I'll probably use a little bit of the spatula, but also my hands, just once again, get it on the actual pan, and then we'll give it a good smash. As I mentioned, if you have a burger press or a steak press, even better. I unfortunately don't. I'm gonna go ahead and use my hand and my spatula, press it down, get it nice and thin, cook about 3 to 4 minutes before we flip it to the other side. Another good way to know when these are ready to flip, so as you can see, it's starting to change color. It's still pink on the top, but starting to become white around the edges. When it becomes white about halfway up, or maybe a little bit more than halfway, it's about time to flip. I would say these probably need about another 30 seconds, but besides 3 to 4 minutes, I think that's a good way as well to see where the color is changing, but almost time to flip. All right, it's been about 4 minutes. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip those and then throw our cheese on as well. So we gotta get under that patty, boom, just like that. You can see, got a nice little char on top, but not overcooked. We're gonna add a slice of our pepper jack cheese to the top of each. Let that kind of melt as it finishes cooking. And then we'll pull that, go ahead and get a nice little char and toast on our buns, and then we'll go ahead and make our burgers. Now our burgers are just about done, so we're gonna go ahead and take our 1 bun, since once again, we're gonna save one of these burgers for later. We're only gonna eat 1. Take our patties off, boom. Let those cool down a little bit, and then go ahead and put the bun, obviously bottoms, or I guess whatever these are called, the insides down to get a nice little toast and char on those. That'll take about 2 minutes, and we'll go ahead and assemble our burger. Now we have our burger. We're going to go ahead and top it off with our toppings. Like I said, you can really use whatever you want. If you want to put ketchup and mustard on it, feel free. I'm gonna go with a little bit of shredded lettuce as well as some fat-free ranch. I also do have my scale right here, so I'm gonna measure everything out just so it's more accurate that way, right? Perfect. Alrighty, and then we have our chicken burger right here. Go ahead and top that bad boy off. Boom. And then also, I'm gonna add a few sides. I'm gonna add some raspberries as well as some carrots. Now I'll go ahead and read the macros for the burger itself. As I mentioned, we're gonna have some sides, but I'm gonna keep those, or I'm gonna read those macros separate just because this is like the recipe from the cookbook. This doesn't actually include, which the recipe, obviously the macros don't include the sides. So just the chicken burger itself is 434 calories. It is 18 grams of fat, 32 grams of carbs, and 36 grams of protein. As we started with about, I think it was 23 grams of protein just from the chicken. When you add the egg, the breadcrumbs, the brioche bun, I think the brioche bun has 7 or 8 grams of protein just in its own, as well as the piece of cheese, I think has about 4 grams. So 22 plus about another 12, you get about 36. So other than that, yeah, pretty simple recipe. And I personally think this tastes delicious. As I mentioned, we have that other burger over there we can throw in the fridge, reheat it on the stovetop in the air fryer, even microwave it to make another burger later today or tomorrow. I know we're gonna be making one later today. We have a different recipe. But yeah, then we're gonna measure out 1 cup of raspberries and 1 cup of carrots, and let's see what those macros come out to be. So then the carrots and raspberries, it's gonna be 1 gram of fat, 30 grams of carbs, and 3 grams of protein. So you're gonna keep those on the side overall, but yeah, we're gonna add those in as well. And then, yeah, let's just dig in. Still a little hot, but tastes delicious. I'll see you guys for the next meal. Alrighty, we just got back from our walk with Maisie. Today is a Wednesday, which is my rest day, so we always go for a nice long walk. Just hit, let's see, 9,400 steps. The goal is 10K steps a day, so pretty much right on point. We're gonna have a Lazy Man chicken parm sandwich. So we have 1 English muffin right here. You can see this is a 100-calorie English muffin, lower calorie, obviously help. I think regular ones are like maybe 150 grams, or sorry, 150 calories. Then we're also gonna be using 1 chicken thigh, or about 3 ounces for the sandwich. Then we also have your options. So I have pizza sauce as well as just regular red sauce, marinara sauce. I'll probably use this just because the pizza sauce isn't open and red sauce works just as well. We also need some cheese. You could use mozzarella, but I love this pizza blend right here. It's basically a blend of mozzarella, Parmesan, and Romano cheeses. So it's a great mix, but you could just use regular mozzarella if you want. Then obviously for our chicken seasoning, we have the chicken rub, Famous Dave's. Nothing too crazy. If you want to just do salt, pepper, paprika, onion powder, that works as well. Just trying to get a little bit of seasoning on the chicken itself. Yeah, it's gonna be super simple. All we're gonna do is air fry it. Just like all the recipes in the cookbook, I try to keep them super simple, more or less foolproof, so you don't really have anything to mess up. All you do is cooking ingredients, putting them together in a tasty, healthy way. But yeah, pretty much all we're gonna do is take our chicken thighs, season it, air fry it, boom, right here, 12 minutes at 365 degrees, flip halfway. At the very end, we'll go ahead, we're gonna throw our English muffin in the toaster, get that nice and toasted, then put all of our ingredients together, air fry it for a little bit longer, and we're good to go. I also highly recommend having tin foil in the bottom of your air fryer. It just makes for super easy cleanup, especially when we have something like cheese and red sauce that'll eventually go in here. Just basically, yeah, simple cleanup, make it nice and easy. Less dishes is always better, and less things to clean is always better as well. Real quick, I think I forgot to read out the ingredients for you guys. So we wanna have 3 ounces of chicken thighs, as I mentioned before, and that is the raw weight. We also want 40 grams of red sauce of choice, pizza sauce, red sauce, either one works. And then 28 grams or 1 serving of your cheese, whether it be mozzarella or some sort of blend, as well as your English muffins. So we have our English muffins over here cut up. Those are going in the toaster. But next we're gonna do is go ahead and take half our cheese and half our red sauce and actually put it on the chicken thigh here that is done cooking. And what that's gonna do is let us basically melt some of our cheese and red sauce onto the chicken thigh, kind of create that little bit of a chicken parm feel. And then what we're gonna do is put the other half on the bottom half of the English muffin. So when we top the sandwich, it'll go English muffin, red sauce, cheese, chicken, red sauce, cheese, English muffin. I'll show you guys what I mean, but first thing we're gonna do is measure out our our red sauce first. We're gonna measure out 20 grams of red sauce, put it on top of the chicken thigh, measure out 14 grams of our cheese, put that on the chicken thigh, put it back in the air fryer for about 2 minutes, and then we'll toast our English muffin as well. Now our chicken thigh will go back in the air fryer for about 2 minutes, just so we can melt that cheese, and our English muffin will go in the toaster. All right, now we have all of our ingredients. Now we just need to assemble the sandwich. So we have our toasted English muffin right here. Let's go ahead and zero that out. Actually, we'll do it like this. Boom. We're gonna do our red sauce first again on the bottom half of our English muffin. So hope you guys can kind of see this. I'm kind of do my best to work the camera. So we want 20 grams. Honestly, I think I just put it on the top, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Both sides of the English muffin are about the same. So we got that right there. Cheese as well. And what I'm doing on the scale is putting something on the scale, clicking 0, zeroing it out, and then taking some off, so I know exactly how much I'm taking off, or taking out of the bag. 13 grams, pretty much perfect. We'll leave that right there. And now what we're gonna do is go ahead and put our chicken parm on top of that cheese to kind of help it melt. So got this guy here, right there. That guy nice pressed down. And as you can see, hopefully you guys can see this, all like the juices and cheese and stuff in there. That's exactly why I have the tin foil in there. So it's easy cleanup, because especially when you add red sauce and cheese, there's gonna be a little extra mess in there. Then we go ahead and top that off. And I definitely put the wrong English muffin down, but it is what it is. And there we have it, our Lazy Man chicken parm sandwich. It took about, maybe 15 minutes to make in total. Super simple. I'll go ahead and read off the macros. Also, I'm gonna pair it with a red pepper, as you see it, which I already ate, as well as an apple, which I'll grab real quick. Boom, a Honeycrisp apple. So a serving of fruit and vegetables to go along with it is a perfect meal. But we'll read off the macros for just the sandwich and then the fruits and vegetables as well. Because once again, the fruits and vegetables are not included in the recipe book. I just want to add those on the side to make it a full day of eating. But the actual chicken parm sandwich is gonna be 13 grams of fat, 30 grams of carbs, and 29 grams of protein for a total of 353 calories. Then we have 1 apple and 1 bell pepper. That'll be 1 gram of fat, 33 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein, and 158 calories of extra side items, a piece of fruit and some vegetables. But yeah, this is, I already know it tastes delicious. It is probably still hot, so I'm gonna give it a quick second to cool down. I'm gonna clean up some of this. I'll give you guys a quick taste test. That is so good. I feel like it can't be beat. It's quick, efficient, doesn't take many ingredients, and tastes amazing. And that's the goal with the whole recipe book. Make things that are high protein, lower calorie, and taste delicious. Without further ado, I'll go ahead and finish this meal up. Once again, we have our peppers and apples on the side as well. We have one more meal. It's not from the recipe cookbook, it's just a protein shake, but I'll go ahead and show you guys that, read the final macros for the entire day, go over it, and then, yeah, if you have any questions about the cookbook, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. But without further ado, cheers. Alrighty, and we are here with our final meal of the day. No, this is not a recipe from the cookbook, but I do highly recommend always having some protein powder or protein bars on hand, as they're a great source of protein, quick and simple. But overall, this meal right here, we have 2 scoops of protein from Transparent Labs. Code Perez saves you 10%. But this is the milk chocolate isolate protein. Hopefully that zooms in. Boom. 28 grams per serving, as you see right there, as well as 1 banana and a mix with a little bit of almond milk. This meal right here comes out to be 4 grams of fat, 32 grams of carbs, 59 grams of protein, and then 390 calories. That then brings our day total, everything you saw in the video today, to 42 grams of fat, 231 grams of carbs, 179 grams of protein, and then 2,018 calories. And that pretty much wraps up the video. But once again, I do want to reiterate, my cookbook is now live, link in the description. Any and all support is much appreciated. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. But it really does help support me, the channel, as well as give me the opportunity to make more recipes for you guys and share those with you as well. But yeah, the recipe themselves, you guys saw 3 of them today in today's video. High protein, low calorie options, as well as the previous videos and pretty much my channel for the last 2 years or so. I pretty much have every single recipe you see on the channel in that cookbook, plus more, 65 recipes total for $19.99. I think it's a pretty good steal. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, leave them down in the comments below. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, got some ideas. And once again, the big thing about the cookbook, I wanna keep it stupid simple. That's, once again, in the name itself. Chef's kiss, K-I-S-S, keep it stupid simple. I'm not trying to make things complicated. I want this to be a cookbook you actually use. I don't want something that you buy, maybe use one recipe from, read the rest of them and say, okay, these are too hard. As you guys saw in today's video, as well as on my channel, I try to keep things simple, straightforward. I'm not trying to be Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen. I'm Jack Perez. I'm an average Joe who likes to be fit. I try to make recipes that are a little bit higher protein, a little bit lower calorie than the alternatives, but still taste amazing. But if you do buy the cookbook, shoot me a DM, comment on this video or any of my YouTube videos. I try to respond to every single comment, at least the first one. Sometimes they do get lost after that, but I do my absolute best. Ask me any questions if you have any. But yeah, without further ado, thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for always watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Happy cooking. I'll see you next time. Peace.